Welcome inside the broadcast booth. Thanks so much for joining us on this Tuesday night from Corvallis. Apologies for some technical difficulties in the top of the first, but the Elks, despite a Jace Miller 2-out single, cannot push across a run. Patrick Galvin, the pitcher tonight. And digging in from the left side, Diego Cruz as Galvin fires in a fastball for a strike at the bottom of the zone. Diego Cruz, then Ethan Porter and Dakota Chun to start off this frame for the Corvallis Knights. Overshift on to the pull side. The 0-1 from Galvin. Called a strike at the base of the zone, 0-2. Elks enter this contest with a 15-24 record. Looking to get back on track and a place they were in just last season for the playoffs. 0-2 breaking ball misses just away. Diego Cruz, the left-handed bat from Oregon State. Same place that these Corvallis Knights call home. 1-2. Heater misses up and away. The defense behind Patrick Galvin tonight. From left to right, it's Gurney, Nato, and in right is Klosik. Pettit Sanders on the left side. Unai and Miller on the right side with Hayden Smith catching. Galvin's 1-2. Called strike 3 on the inside corner. And Patrick Galvin picks up a looking K. It'll be critical for Galvin to get in the strike zone early. The righty out of Seattle, Washington, goes to Seattle U. Now it's Ethan Porter. Galvin's pitch is a heater that's called the strike at the top of the zone. A warm, warm night tonight in Corvallis. It is 94 degrees. And up here in the press box, absolutely scorching hot. The 0-1. Sweeping slider misses outside. Corvallis Knights, despite their dominant run that they've been on over the last couple of years, just a 20-19 record so far this season in the jumbled up WCL South. The 1-1 is grounded sharply to Brady Pettit at third. His throw across the diamond in time. And there's 2 away. So a great start from Patrick Galvin getting in the strike zone. 2 away, nobody on base. Bringing up Dakota Chun. These Elks coming off a 31-0 loss on Sunday. They had the day off yesterday. So looking for a fresh start as the first pitch misses up and in tight to the Portland left-handed bat. Purple batting gloves digging in from that side. The home of the Oregon State Beavers were at. Gorgeous Goss Stadium. Galvin's 1-0. Fastball's popped up to left center field. Gurney couldn't pick it up. Nato trails over, though, and squeezes it for a 1-2-3 opening frame for Patrick Galvin. As good of a start as you can ask for the Elks starting pitcher. No scores. We head to the second on Bend Elks YouTube. Back here for the top of the second inning. Aiden O'Neill up here in the broadcast booth. The first of 6 on this road trip. Gurney, Smith, and Pettit do up this inning. 5, 6, and 7 in the order. The wind and the fire from Neil Burtis misses outside. Burtis, the starter tonight for the Corvallis Knights. The 6'2", 180-pound southpaw. His 1-0 to Gurney misses up and away. Burtis has struggled so far this season. In 6 1/3 innings pitched, a 14.2 ERA for the young Beaver out of Oregon State. 2-0 to Gurney. Big swing and a miss. He was late. Defense behind Burtis tonight. It's Siegel, Medina, and Jeske in the outfield from left to right. Garvey and Severns on the left side. Cruz and Porter on the right side with Rios catching as Gurney fouls away the 2-1. Neil Burtis working with a real pace to himself. He's getting that ball and towing the rubber as quickly as possible. The Maple Valley, Washington native. His 2-2 to Gurney's a fastball that misses up and away. No score in just the top of the second on this scorching hot night. Up here in the press box, obviously extremely hot, no AC, but on that field, on the turf, equally as hot. Full count pitch, grounded softly to the left side, kicked by Garvey, the third baseman, and the throw to first by Medina, or Severns, who is backing it up, is not in time. When Gurney reaches base safely at first. We'll see what they rule this. Garvey was moving to his left and went to a slide to try and stop it. It hit off his glove, popped behind him. Severns picked it up and tried to throw Gurney out at first, but it was late. And this is going to go down as an error on the third baseman and Garvey. Elks will take it any way they can get it. A leadoff runner now Hayden Smith as the first pitch fastball is called a strike. Lightning speed. Can't emphasize that enough from Neil Burtis, who gets it back, immediately comes set. His 0-1. Smith lines one into right center field, falling fast and down for a hit. Gurney hits second and heads to third. Kemp's going to stop him there. Smith racing to second. Belly flop slide. He's in there for a double. Elks have 2 ducks on the pond after the double from Hayden Smith. And despite a strong throw from Max Medina in center field, great hustle from Smith, getting the Elks in business. That brings up Brady Pettit. Infield comes in. Burtis deals. Pettit takes a strike right down the heart of the plate. An early moment for these Elks, who were held silent offensively on Sunday and the majority of that Raptor series, to capitalize. The 0-1. Changeup grounded softly to the right side by the first baseman and Porter, and there's no play. Ethan Porter tried to field it on the backhand, and it fell silently on the turf. As also in the process, nobody was covering first base. That is the second error in the last 3 batters to start this inning for Corvallis. And it brings up the Elks All-Star, Troy Sanders, with the bases loaded. An early opportunity for these Elks to strike. They had multiple against the Ridgefield Raptors and could never take advantage. Burtis works in on a changeup. Gets the call on the outer third. On third is Gurney. On second is Smith. On first is Pettit. Elks in business here in the second. 0-1 to Sanders. Fouled straight back over the net. 0-2. With no more Dimitri Sasidko for these Elks, Troy Sanders, the lone All-Star, left. And got put down in the lineup today to likely see more fastballs, get a chance to do damage. The 0-2, Sanders takes up and away. Was dealing with a shoulder issue over the weekend versus Ridgefield, but still the team's leading home run hitter with 7. 9 runs batted in, an average just over 213. Burtis sets and fires. Sanders is late. He swung on a half-hearted attempt, and as soon as he decided to swing, the ball was in the catcher's mitt in Rios. A huge strikeout for the lefty and Neil Burtis. And that brings up the left-handed bat, Will Cahill. This allows the infield to creep back. Porter and Garvey, the corner infielders, still hovering around the green part of the turf. Burtis delivers a fastball, then misses up and away. Will Cahill, the new commit to Seattle University, after his freshman campaign at Washington where he redshirted. Twitchy outfielder, the 1-0, late on a fastball at the top of the zone. Still Gurney, Smith, and Pettit, the base runners, here in the top of the second with 1 out. 1-1 count left on left from Burtis to Cahill. The pitch. Fastball misses down and away. Good take from Will. Just has 4 runs batted in. And a big story of these Elks, who are 9 games below 500, has been the injuries that they've had to deal with. Cahill's been dealing with a leg injury, and it's good to see him back in the lineup. Hitters count, the 2-1. Late on a fastball again. And Burtis just sticking with that pitch, this time on the inner third, forcing Cahill to shorten up. This is an early opportunity for these Elks they don't want to let go by. Had him loaded with no outs. Burtis is 2-2. Fastball fouled straight back. Good fight from Cahill. On deck is the top of the order with Keaton Nadeau. Elks lost 2 of 3 to these Corvallis Knights in the middle of June. Seeking vengeance in a place that caused some nightmares from just a year ago. Curtis delivers. A breaking ball that's skied to center field and deep. Straight back near the track is Medina. He makes the catch. Tagging at third is Gurney. He'll come in to score. The throw goes into the cutoff man, and it's 1-0 on the sac fly from Will Cahill. A productive at-bat. These Elks at times have shied away when they've gotten 2 strikes on them, but Cahill kept battling and put a good swing on a ball in a 2-strike count. That easily scored Gurney, but they're looking for more now with Keaton Nadeau from the right side. Nadeau, his first time, grounded out to the first baseman in Porter. Burtis rocks and comes in on a heater, then misses low. Nadeau's been one of the biggest spark plugs for these Elks. A guy that has fully embraced his opportunity in Bend from Cal State San Bernardino. Longer pause this time, the 1-0. Changeup tapped foul to the third base side and gloved by Garvey in foul territory. Decent crowd on hand tonight at Goff Stadium, but a lot of folks, and it makes sense, staying inside with this heat wave. This should be the hottest night we have of this week. But at the moment, feels like 91, high of 98 today. They throw over to check on Pettit, and the throw was down on one hop. Porter had to dig it out. Risky maneuver from Burtis. If that got away from Porter, Smith would come in to score and make this 2-0. Elks with 2 hits this frame, but the 2 errors have set the table. The 1-1. Pettit runs, swung on and missed. Pettit trying to get caught in a rundown. Rios doesn't throw it, and Pettit just walks into second. But what Burtis does get is that second strike. 1-2, 2 outs. Runners on second and third, 1-0 Elks. That 1 run coming in on the Will Cahill sac fly. The pitch. Nadeau fouls it away. Keaton Nadeau in that 31-0 win for Ridgefield. He was the guy that came in to close the final inning of work, and he had one of the cleaner innings. The 11th pitcher of that game on Bend's side. 1-2. Changeup, great take from Nato, who thought about attempted but did not swing. Nato right on top of the plate from the right side. Adjusts his helmet and puts those hands high. 2-2. Fastball. Skied to center field, but in the park. Medina goes back. He reaches up and makes the two-handed squeeze to end the inning. Of course, the Elks happy to strike first, but it still does feel like a missed opportunity. Bases loaded, nobody out. You just get one in. We'll go to the home half of the second here on the Bend Elks YouTube page. Patrick Galvin got the Knights down in order in his first inning of work, and his first pitch to Will Jeske misses outside. Jeske, Garvey, and Severns. 4, 5, and 6 this inning for the Knights. The 1-0. Breaking ball misses down and away. Corvallis in their all-white pinstripe uniforms with the maroon numbers. Elks in their all-grays with the black caps. Jeske, the incoming senior at Nebraska. The 1-0. Called a strike. Make that the 2-0. Now 2-1. Patrick Galvin, one of the new Elks, the tall righty out of Seattle. Hasn't worked a ton. They're looking for some length out of him as the 2-1 misses down. Last time he threw was on July the 13th in Portland. That was the makeup doubleheader. He just went an inning and 2/3. Gave up 3 hits, 2 runs allowed. 3-1 is fouled away down the left field line. Even with the off day, especially coming off a game where you used 10 real pitchers, 1 position player in NATO. Length will do a whole lot in the first of 6 straight. The payoff from Galvin. Fastball skied to deep right field, going straight back as Klosik, and he makes the catch. Reaching up and squeezing it. 1 away. Brings up Zane Garvey, one of the better hitters on this team from the left side. Second year as a Corvallis Knight. Galvin rocks on the first pitch, and it's a slider that's called a strike on the outside corner. Garvey, the Beaverton, Oregon native. 6'4", 190-pounder. 15 runs batted in. 0-1 lined right back up the middle, and it falls on the turf beads for a base hit. 3 hops to Keaton Nato in center field, and the first hit of the night for the Corvallis Knights. Good barrel of fastball that just caught too much plate. Garvey took advantage by being ready. And Ryan Severns will step in from the right side. Garvey, no recorded stolen bases over there at first. Galvin fires. Fastball, the misses down and away. Ryan Severns, incoming sophomore at UCSB, an even .300 batting average, 1 homer, 7 driven in. Ground ball would get Galvin out of it. The 1-0 is a slider that's called a strike by home plate umpire Bryce Reeves. On the bases is Taylor Schneider. Reeves, one of the better umps in the West Coast League. 1-1. Skied to straightaway right field. Klosik moves back and squeezes it. 2 outs. So both of those instances where Galvin has thrown a pitch on the outside corner, the Knights have gone with that pitch. But Klosik has been ready. 2 away for Max Medina. Still over there at first is Zane Garvey. Galvin staying in the strike zone. Comes set from the first base side and will throw over to check on Garvey on a soft toss. Been a peculiar year for Brook Knight squad. Also a coach in Sydney, Australia when this season isn't going on, and Brook a staple of this West Coast League. Galvin fires a fastball that misses just outside. Smith was setting up in, so when he reached across his body, could not get the call. But there was a run from 2016 to 2023 where these Knights won the championship every year, so that's now the expectation. The 1-0 way out in front was Medina. Two away with that runner on first. Galvin's 1-1. Skips in for a ball and gets away from Smith. It also caught a piece of Max Medina in the box, so he'll head down to first on the hit by pitch. Garvey moves up to second. There were a couple of those in Portland for Patrick Galvin in his last start where it looks like it just slips out of his hand. Same thing that time. It spiked about 6 feet in front of home plate and then bounded into the leg of Medina. So it gives Xavier Rios an opportunity to equalize this game with a base hit. The right-handed catcher steps up. And Galvin comes in on a fastball that's popped up beyond home plate and out of play. During that run for the Corvallis Knights, they were coined the Evil Empire, 10 league titles they possess, and have been dominant. So seeing this South this year transpire and seeing the Knights just 1 game above 500 has been really peculiar. 0-1. Fouled right back. Galvin gets ahead. And after the hit by pitch to get back in the zone, good work from Galvin. 0-2, 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Your runners Garvey and Medina. 1-0 Elks looking to preserve this slim lead. Galvin delivers. A slider that misses away. Although Corvallis took 2 of 3 against the Elks at Vince Scanna Stadium earlier this year, a couple of those games could have gone either way. 1-2. Got him swinging. Galvin goes down and away, and Rios chases to end the second. Patrick Galvin sticks with it. He gets his second strikeout of the night. We'll go to the third. Still 1-0 Elks. Top of the third inning, Julian Unai starting things off for the Elks, and he lines a single into right field just in front of Will Jeske to get things going. Unai as aggressive as ever, left on left with Burtis. And that'll bring up Jace Miller with a man on. Has been a game with some good pace thus far. Patrick Galvin has been good on the Elk side. And Jace Miller will step up. Take a changeup that misses low. Burtis comes set. Longer pause and the pitch. Fastball called a strike on the outside corner. Miller his first time through singled here in the building he called home all of this last year. As an Oregon State Beaver himself. 1-1 changeup misses down. And although Miller was derailed with injuries, I'm sure being back here brings back some good memories on that other side of the coin. Hitters count 2-1. Big swing and a miss, and Miller goes to a knee in the process. Falling upon the backside of that batter's box. Miller his whole baseball career coming in this state of Oregon. And now looking for his next chapter, currently in the portal. Unai off of first. Burtis is 2-2. Fouled away off of Miller's foot. And in some pain in the box as he'll take a walk. Chase injured that knee during the playoffs last year against the Corvallis Knights on a diving catch he made in center field, which at the time was heroic, but derailed his entire season. 2-2. Fastball grounded softly to the first base side and foul. Picked up by Porter in front of Wes Harper, who's doing the first base coaching tonight. Johnny Kemp down there at third. Elks on these road trips have usually had a player do that first base coaching duty, but tonight Wes taking matters into his own hands. Burtis will throw over and throws it away. Past the first baseman, Porter. Unai races to second. The throw from Porter's in time. It ricocheted off the wall directly back to Porter. And he made the strong throw to second in time to get Unai. A tough break. That's one of those where it's the right read if you're Julian Unai, but man, that ricochet just unlucky. Now the 2-2 to Miller with nobody on. Choking up from the right side, and he'll foul it away down the right field line. Those blunders, though, have frustrated these Elks. On the bases, in the field. A team that has been knocking on the door of success all year, but a couple of bounces each way have made it not so. 2-2 heater misses up and away. But a positive here going against the lefty Neil Burtis is they've gotten his pitch count up. Now sitting at 54 already in the third. The payoff to Jace. Fastball grounded, foul down the third baseline. But Miller working a really good at-bat here. Klosik on deck and Win Gurney here in the third inning. Elks just on top by a score of 1-0. Burtis was the #1 lefty in the state coming out of Washington. The payoff misses low, ball 4. Jace Miller starting to find himself at the plate after that first inning single and then a walk this time after a lengthy at-bat, continuing to get the pitch count up of Neil Burtis. And that'll bring up Richie Klosik. Shadows starting to set upon Goss Stadium here on a Tuesday night in Corvallis, just past 7 o'clock. Burtis' pitch is bounded to the third baseman. Garvey goes to second for one. The throw to first, not in time. Good hustle from Richie Klosik that gave it his all down the first baseline. It goes down as a 5-4 fielder's choice on the first pitch he sees. So Miller and Klosik switch spots, and that brings up Win Gurney. Gurney at one point was committed to this very school in Oregon State. Burtis delivers a heater that's called to strike at the knees. But as time went on, flipped his commitment a couple of times, was at Cal for a bit, and then LMU, where he ultimately resided for his freshman year. Burtis is 0-1. Fouled right back off the net. Shading Gurney up the middle is the second baseman in Cruz. Both Severns and Garvey shifted over to the pull side. Gurney his first time reached on the air from Garvey. The 0-2 with 2 outs incoming. And Gurney strikes out. Chased a fastball at the top of the zone. Already the 4th time that an Elk has struck out. Can't take advantage of the leadoff single. It stays at 1-0 here in Corvallis on the Bend Elks YouTube page. Nine, 1-2 due up for the Corvallis Knights as Patrick Galvin fires in a strike on the outside corner. 1-0 game. Both Galvin and Neil Burtis have been good. Shadow setting overhead. The 0-1 misses away. Elks last inning had an opportunity after the leadoff single by Julian Unai, but could not scratch through. Galvin's 1-1. Misses away to the backstop. But have liked what they've seen out of Patrick Galvin. Just hope that he stays in the strike zone. That one free pass allowed in the second on the hit by pitch to Max Medina. Siegel, the redshirt junior out of Cal Poly from the right side. The 2-1. Takes a slider. That's a pearl on the outer third. Freezing him. Working quick. The 2-2. Slider runs down and in tight. Siegel must be committed to Cal Poly, his last year coming at Lynn Benton Community College, not too far from here, where he bat over 300. Galvin rocks on the payoff, and it's grounded right back up the middle for a base hit. Strong at bat from Kellen Siegel, who kept fighting with 2 strikes. And it turns it to the top of the order in Diego Cruz. All the top dogs, though, for the Elks should be available in tonight's Tuesday night contest. Wes Harper and staff did a good job in the blowout loss on Sunday to save their top arms. Galvin to Cruz. Throws a fastball that misses in tight. Even a much different roster than we saw from the Corvallis Knights at the beginning of this season in the middle of June. Some new faces, Cruz being one of them. This is just his 9th game. 1-0. Takes a fastball that misses up and away. Has himself 3 runs batted in and a threat at the top of the order with speed. 5 stolen bases on the summer. Galvin's 2-0. And his heater misses down and in tight, plunking Diego Cruz. Cruz falls to one knee and laying on his rear end as he'll now head down to first with the Corvallis Knights being in business. Looks like he got Diego Cruz on some sort of breaking ball, which makes the pain hurt a little less. But painful for Patrick Galvin, who has been great when it comes to finding the zone. And in this inning, not as at high of a rate. Digging in now is Ethan Porter. Wonder if Porter will think about bunting here, despite being one of the better hitters on this team, with an average well over 300. Galvin delivers. Breaking ball that's called a strike at the bottom of the zone. Ethan Porter, just 5 days ago, was named the All-Star Game MVP in the WCL All-Star Game in Victoria, representing the South region. 0-1. Fastball fouled right back, and this outstanding summer culminating into that. A thrilling win for the South in that game, and what was really a good event in Victoria, British Columbia. Great venue. Outstanding ballpark. We had the pleasure of being there not too long ago on our 6-game swing. Galvin ahead of the All-Star MVP 0-2, and his slider just misses off the plate, according to Bryce Reeves. Elks dugout barking a bit. I wonder if they thought that was strike 3. Porter with no intent at all to bunt. The 1-2. Misses down and away. Gets away from Hayden Smith. The back runner stole late, and the throw in a second's not in time. Cruz got a later jump than the man in front of him, Kellen Siegel, but still, Smith's throw to second was not put down by Unai quickly enough. And the Corvallis Knights have 2 ducks on the pond here. With no outs, a chance to take the lead. Corner infielders creeping in. Galvin winds. The 2-2. Fastball skied to shallow right center field. This will bring it a run. Nato's going to make the catch. Both runners tagged. The throw goes all the way to third on one hop, but everybody's safe. And it's 1-1 here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. The RBI sac fly from Ethan Porter. That's his 24th of the summer. And that free pass coming back to bite Patrick Galvin. One out for Dakota Chun. Just the corner infielders creeping in. Galvin fires a fastball that misses low. Here at the ballpark tonight, they're doing a kid PA announcer for this inning. The cutest thing ever. Absolutely killing it. Wish we could pick it up here on the broadcast. Galvin's back in the windup, more comfortable in this spot. The 1-0. Change up, gets the call at the knees. Chun, his first time was retired, the incoming sophomore at Portland out of Honolulu, Hawaii. Galvin winds and uncoils the 1-1, and the fastball's roped foul down the right field line. Thank goodness, because that had the distance to be a thunderous extra base hit. Was hit well over 100 miles per hour off the bat. Chun at 5'10", 230 pounds. Tonight's DH. Galvin's 1-2. Popped up. Shallow left center field. Gurney and Nato ranging over. Gurney makes the catch. Tagging at third is Cruz. Gurney's throw is on 6 hops to the catcher. And it had no chance. Cruz scores stand-in. And it's 2-1 Knights. They've taken the lead. Not sure if that slipped out of the hand of Win Gurney, but it didn't look that deep. Still likely with Cruz's speed at third he would have scored, but Gurney wasn't able to get the ball in. 2 outs for Will Jeske. Although the Elks struck first in the second, the Knights immediately answer here in the third with 2 of their own. Galvin delivers. Breaking ball that misses in. Still a lot to pitch for if you're Patrick Galvin. Cannot get discouraged. It's been a good outing. 1-0 fastball grounded foul near that Corvallis dugout. Watch out down there. Jeske flew out to Klosik his first time through. This has been a Corvallis offense that hasn't been the same that we've seen in past years. 1-1. Fastball, skied to right. More action for Richie Klosik, who goes back and makes the catch to end the inning. But after the leadoff single by Kellen Siegel, Diego Cruz is hit by pitch. Back-to-back sac flies after a costly wild pitch. Give Corvallis a 2-1 lead going to the fourth on Bend Elks YouTube. Back here, top of the fourth inning, Corvallis now on top 2-1 after a 2-spot in the bottom of the third. Hayden O'Neill up here in the broadcast booth. Thanks for joining us. The 1-0. Fastball popped up. shallow right center field. Coming together is Medina and Jeske. And making the catch is Medina in center for the first out. Elks offense looked good out of the gate, but the name of the game this season has been the lack of consistency. And the same thing can be said for tonight, with just 2 hits thus far. Neil Burtis, the southpaw, finding a rhythm. He pitches to Brady Pettit, who takes a fastball up and away. In the 5th inning, I'll be on the Corvallis Knights broadcast stream on their YouTube, so make sure to go tune in for that, and then I'll be with you for the final innings here on the radio. Here's the 1-0 from Pettit, his line back up the middle, and down for a base hit. Hard hit knock from Brady Pettit, who's starting to see the ball better, and his first hit of the night, second time he's reached. With 1 out, it's Troy Sanders, legendary broadcaster for the Corvallis Knights. Mike Parker, happy to have me on, and very nice of him to pass along that honor, just like we did in Bend last month. First pitch to Sanders is popped up. Foul territory to the left side. Garvey and Rios near the net, and it goes out of play. As Rios, the catcher, threw off his mask, but could not get there. A souvenir instead. Hope that ends up in the arms of a kid. Parker's been doing Oregon State athletics for the past 30-plus years, and a legend amongst these parts in Corvallis. Does the Knights in the summertime, too, and stays fresh with that. 0-1 to Sanders. Checked his swing, appealed to Taylor Schneider, says he didn't go. Looked like Sanders was close to going around. If you have a 3-man crew there, they might call it. Sanders stepped up his first time with the bases loaded and nobody out and struck out. Burtis is 1-1. That heater misses low. Good take from Troy. Despite having 7 home runs this year, being an all-star, just 9 runs batted in. And after that home run stretch where he was on fire, started to cool off. 2-1. Changeup fouled right back. But we know with Troy, he can get things going again in the blink of an eye. The Bethune-Cookman commit, Father Anthony, played in the Bigs and is currently the first base coach for the Detroit Tigers. 2-2. Fastball misses in tight. And a good take from Troy Sanders, who's battling here. 3-2-1 out. Pettit on first. 2-1 Knights here in the top of the 4th. Burtis' payoff. Popped up to the right side of the infield. It's Porter, the first baseman, near the bag, just beyond it. And he reaches up to make the squeeze. Two outs, and up steps Will Cahill. These Elks offensive halves have started to go on by in the blink of an eye. After the base run in, miscue in the 3rd from Julian Unai. This offense seeking to get going as time is now called before Neil Burtis can throw another pitch. The entire infield coming up around their pitching coach. This is a moment with Will Cahill coming up, who's the lone responsibility for a run scored on the Elk side this game. So some strategy and shot being talked. See how they can get out Cahill without allowing any damage. Cahill dug in with them loaded in 1 out his first time and skied out to Max Medina in center. Burtis fires in a fastball for a strike. That was pitching coach Bo Kearns that went out to chat with the lefty. Young lefty with potential in Burtis. They hope to see dominate in this building. Oh, what? This is away. Working fast. His 1-1 with the overshift on for Cahill, and he's late on a fastball. Getting it and going as fast as possible. 71 pitches now for the lefty. His 1-2 to Cahill is a fastball that misses just a hair low. No oblige from Bryce Reeves. But Burtis thought he had strike 3. He was walking off the mound. Cahill's got to protect. The 2-2 with 2 outs is a fastball line down the left field line with some slice, but Siegel was there and makes the catch. Unlucky from Will Cahill, who found a solid barrel. But the Elks cannot scratch a run across. They've got 4 hits to just 2 for the Knights, but still trail by 1 here on the Bend Elks YouTube page as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Home half of the 4th inning, 2-1, Knights on top. Zane Garvey stepping in, and Galvin will throw a slider that misses away. Final half inning before I head over to the Corvallis Knights YouTube stream for innings 5 and 6, so make sure to go tune in there after this. The 1-0. Fastball misses up and away. We should also have the audio from that on this Bend Elks YouTube broadcast, so you might not have to go anywhere, but if you want the visuals too, feel free to hop on over. And Mike Parker will be there for the remainder of the game. 2-0 fastball trails outside. This has felt like the same story for the Elks this year. They at times get up early, but then the other team answers back. Elks seeking to be resilient. Garvey his first time singled. The 3-0 misses low and a 4-pitch walk to Zane Garvey. That's the first walk for Patrick Galvin. He has hit 2 batters, but it's kept his pitch count down and in a good spot. Wes Harper is going to call time as he recognizes that maybe Galvin losing his command and needs a quick moment. Wes Harper, first year as the pitching coach. He's been on staff for 3 years now. Was the pitching coach in 2024, but last year Jeffrey Brown was the Elks pitching coach, former left-handed pitcher who pitched in minor league baseball, the Dodgers organization, and now working in minor league baseball with the Fresno Grizzlies. who have bounced around different affiliates to different teams, but are at the moment the single-A affiliate of the Colorado Rockies. Harper, a D1 pitcher himself, will exit the mound. Boise State, Sac State, bringing some expertise to this Bend Elks roster. Heavy analytical mind, too, and that always plays in 2026 and how baseball is forever changing. We're ready, and Galvin will fire into Severns, who pulls back a bunt attempt and takes outside. Max Medina waiting on deck after him, maybe looking to set the table for him. Both of these teams have struggled offensively in 2026, and that could be why Brook Knight is trying to manufacture a run. 1-0. Severns doesn't square this time and takes outside. Now 6 straight balls for Patrick Galvin to start this inning. Severns, his first time, flew out to Klosick and right. The 2-0. Fastball fouled away off the netting to the left side. Severns, a part of a great program at UCSB. Team that didn't make the tournament this last year, but has that pedigree of doing so frequently. The 2-1. Fastball grounded back up the middle. Diving is Sanders. He stops it. He touches second. Throw to first. Not in time, as he pulled Miller just up off the base. But Troy Sanders with a diving stop to rob Ryan Severns of a base hit back up the middle. And they almost turned 2, which would have been brilliant. You take the effort, though, by Troy. And a heck of a job. Now stepping in is Max Medina, the lefty. Galvin fires a fastball that goes by Smith to the backstop. And moving up to second is Garvey. Elks in the third inning, where the Knights scored both of their runs, had a costly wild pitch where Smith wasn't able to stop it. And it set the table. That table now set again here in the fourth. Just 2 runs on 2 hits for Corvallis. Elks with 1 run on 4 hits. One-0. Swung on and missed. Way out in front of it was Max Medina. Medina's first time through was hit by a pitch. Severns and Medina batting back-to-back in the order, hitters 6 and 7. And the 2 rivals, the Gauchos and the Mustangs from the Central Coast. 1-1. Popped up foul and out of play. Medina, though, just graduated high school from Patterson, California. And the 32nd ranked outfielder in the state, according to Perfect Game, taking his talents to a team that almost made it to Omaha. Medina's 1-2. He checked his swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. According to Taylor Schneider, the base umpire, and Brook Knight cannot believe it. Taylor Schneider is standing beyond the mound, and that's usually not one you see a base umpire in this position call for strike 3. That's what Brook Knight is arguing about. But he thought he saw enough. And that's a huge K, the 3rd of the night for Patrick Galvin. Now 2 away with a runner on second. The hitter is Xavier Rios. Galvin's slider misses outside. When we were in the North on our 6-game swing, we saw how the North operates with a 3-man crew, and it made it so these check swings in moments like we just saw, a lot more likely to be accurate. Dancing off a second is Severns. The 1-0 runs in tight, and it gets Rios just on his elbow. The 3rd hit by pitch from Patrick Galvin. And there's runners on first and second now with 2 outs. No harm, no foul with the open base at first. But still not a habit you want to get into if you're Patrick Galvin. Gives Kellen Siegel a shot, who singled in the third. Galvin will fire in a fastball that's foul tipped into the catcher's mitt in Smith. Siegel with a nod, though, feeling like he's on it. The Elks infield will shift to the pull side with Sanders working near Pettit at third base. Unai almost all the way up the middle. That scouting report analytically driven from the Elk staff. 0-1. Slider misses down and away, and a heck of a pick from Hayden Smith. Despite some struggles that Smith has had back there, that's about as big of a pick as you're going to get in that moment. Peek back at second and the 1-1. Heater misses down and away. Big spot in this game. We're just in the fourth. But 2 quick outs. And now Corvallis in business. This 2-1 game. Hitters count to Siegel. Heater misses low. It's 3-1. The bullpens here at Oregon State enclosed by their home of the national champion sign in left field. But there is an Elk stirring in there. We're not sure who. The backup plan for Patrick Galvin. Big pitch. Siegel can sit on one pitch, one location. The 3-1 is way outside. It goes to the backstop. A base on balls that loads the bases. And the 5th free pass allowed from Patrick Galvin. Looks like Alan Cox is going to go get him. Just 69 pitches for the righty out of Seattle, Washington. But the Elks recognize how big of a spot this is in a 2-1 game. Awfully close. We'll see who they go to. It appears it's going to be Josh Jackson, the righty, when we come back in a tough spot here on Bend Elks YouTube. Josh Jackson entering in a tough spot. Bases loaded, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Facing the leadoff man, Diego Cruz. Jackson fires a slider that misses low. All 3 batters that are on the bases now with the sacks packed reached on a free pass. 2 walks and a hit by pitch. Jackson, the crafty righty out of Umpqua. Big deep breath from the first base side. His 1-0. Fastball, check swing. No call, no appeal. Reeves will now appeal to Taylor Schneider, says he did not go. And immediately after Jackson enters, a big pitch coming up. Cruz struck out his first time, reached on a hit by pitch in the 3rd. Jackson a 6.57 ERA entering this out, and last worked in that Ridgefield series. Have to come in, the 2-0. Fastball, skied to shallow center field. Nato got a late jump, but he gets there. Reaches up to make the catch. And although Josh Jackson got down in the count, a phenomenal job working back and keeping this deficit intact at 1. I'll join you on the Corvallis Knights YouTube stream in just a few. We'll step aside and head to the 5th on the Bend Elks YouTube page.
Center fielder, number 10, Nato.
2-1 Knights as we go to the 5th inning. The Knights turn to their bullpen to Nate Marshall, who's been outstanding this summer, as has been the next voice you'll hear, Aiden O'Neill out of Arizona State. The Cronkite School earned national recognition as the 2026 Intercollegiate Broadcasting System Award winner for the best baseball, softball play-by-play. The head of broadcasting for the student-run Blaze Radio, coordinating more than 400 broadcasts. He hosts a sports talk show called The Irish Hello. It is an honor to welcome in an outstanding young broadcaster, Aiden O'Neill, to take you through the next couple of innings. Already 1 out. I'll let you tell him what happened, Aiden, but take it away. Great to have you with us.
Thank you, Mike. I really appreciate it. And thanks so much for letting me join. Good game so far tonight. 2-1 the score. Knights on top as the fastball from Marshall's called to strike on the outside corner. This is Julian Unai stepping up. Keita Nato just moments ago flew out to the center fielder in Max Medina. Elks looking to get their offense going. Unai's last time singled into right field and he swings through that one, 0-2. Gorgeous night for baseball. A bit warm, one of the hotter games we've had at a 6:30 start time. But now that the sun has completely set, make it for a picturesque evening. Big overshift on for the lefty in Unai with Cruz in shallow right field. The 0-2 for Marshall. Heater misses up and away. After Unai, it's Miller, the Oregon State Beaver, formerly, and then Richie Klosek. Despite the Elks being down 2-1, 4 hits to 2 in the hit column. Here's the 1-2. Fastball misses up from Marshall. Both of these teams so far this season, offensively, not been up to their same standards from the past years. But Corvallis' pitching staff, a lot of swing and miss. As the 2-2 breaking ball right on cue gets Julian Unai fanning outside. The first strikeout from Nate Marshall and 2 gone here in the 5th. Elks had a stretch during their road trip in British Columbia where over 4 games they punched out over 60 times. So from time to time it's been an issue with the swing and miss. But this guy in Jace Miller has started to turn a corner. Nobody on with 2 away. Marshall just out of the stretch will throw in a fastball that's called the strike at the knees. Miller, with his whole baseball career coming in the state of Oregon, found a home here at Oregon State, a childhood dream coming true, and now in the transfer portal. 0-1 sliders, filthy but misses low. Xavier Rios tried to bring that back up on the frame. Miller, the former batting title winner in the West Coast League just a year ago. It's been tough sledding so far, but man, the at-bats have looked better as he swings through that slider on the outer third. Now 1-2. Also playing him with the slight overshift, the pull hitter from Medford. Jace has been used to this rivalry between the Elks and the Knights, his 3rd year here in Bend. Good take down and away, stopped by the catcher Rios. In a close game like this, just looking for a base runner. 2-2. Got him swinging. Blew the heater by him at 87 miles per hour. A 1-2-3 clean inning for Nate Marshall with a couple of strikeouts. We're back in 90 on the Knights live stream.
The Knights are still leading 2-1. Hey, this Saturday, you don't know burrito toss. The Knights are ready to check the burrito, so get on your feet and make some noise.
Rolling with the crew, where good vibes meet good times. Retro keys, vintage vibes, unlock your next adventure. Poop's got the hookup too, belly rubs included. Space to kick back.
For the Corvallis Knights here in the bottom of the 5th inning, 2-1 Knights on top. Josh Jackson got out of a jam in relief and now gets to go a full inning of work, starting with Ethan Porter. Jackson's fastball grounded right back up the middle. Glove by Unai deep in the hole is throw to first in time. Julian Unai flashing the leather for the first out here in this frame. A tough play ranging to his right, and Porter runs well.
Designated hitter, number 17.
Couldn't have done that any better. Bringing up Dakota Chun. Unai, a middle infielder that can play both second and short. Today tasked in the 4-hole and making it look easy. Jackson looks into Chun, and the changeup's called a strike. Ever-changing middle infield too for these Elks, with Unai being one of their new contributors. Just been on the team for a couple of weeks now. Jackson will step off and recalculate. Has been used in a bunch of different roles with the Elks. Here in some early relief at the beginning of the season was their closer. And then as time has gone on, pitching coach Wes Harper each day will have a new challenge for him. Today it's picking up Patrick Galvin, which he's done so far nicely. Chun will take a strike on the outside corner. Chun his last time had an RBI sac fly to the left fielder in Gurney. A good at bat in the middle of this Knights order doing damage. Jackson with a deep breath on the 1-2. Changeup misses away. Good crowd on hand tonight for some Tuesday night baseball. The first of 3 between these two foes. Corvallis still in the thick of the playoff picture. 2-2 misses up and away. And these teams with some history. Last year, the Elks, their playoff hopes and their season ended right here at Goss Stadium. So some vengeance coming back in 2026. Jackson. Deep breath and the payoff to Chun. Chun walks, a base on balls. And the first base runner for the Knights here in the 5th.
Now batting from the University of Nebraska, the right fielder, number 34.
Bringing up Will Jeske. This is the part of the order where Josh Jackson has to be careful. Elks bullpen is quiet, so he has free rein here. Jeske takes outside. The Lincoln, Nebraska native, part of the West Coast League a year ago too, with the Cowlitz Black Bears, who have since been disbanded from the league. 1-0 runs up and in tight. Jackson with some command struggles after the opening putout, where Unai made that brilliant play. Entering his senior year, though, there in Nebraska, and a power threat in the heart of this order. Jackson's fastball misses low, and Hayden Smith, now recognizing that that command may be faltering, will go out and have a chat. Elks in their free passes tonight. That's been a big storyline. 3 hit by pitches and 3 walks, giving Corvallis 6 free bases ultimately. Major part of why you look up at the scoreboard and the Knights, with just 2 hits, still have that lead and have a chance to add on here in the 5th. Jackson, a long look in, just searching to get that strike zone back. And he gets the strike there on the 3-0, just getting the bottom of the zone. Zane Garvey on deck, who's been a walk machine, especially against these Bend Elks. Ground ball would get Jackson out of this frame. 3-1, 1 out. The runner on first and Chun. Jeske taps it foul just beyond home plate. This beautiful Goss Stadium, always a joy to come to as a visiting team. And a Corvallis Knights team that has breathed excellence for the last couple of seasons. That's why it's been so peculiar to see them at just 20-19, but it seems like better days ahead for sure. Jackson's payoff, runner on the move, and it's scorched foul down the left field line. Jeske was way out in front. 2 flyouts so far tonight for the power hitting cleanup man. That slider for Jackson just hung too far over the middle of the plate. And Jeske now in some pain, it looks like, taking off his batting gloves. Must have happened on that big cut. Now Brooke Knight and the trainer will look at him up the third baseline, along with home plate umpire Bryce Reeves. Never a good sign, especially for a major contributor like Will Jeske is. Those small injuries in the hand have been popular for baseball players as of late. The hamate bone, especially on hit by pitches up and in tight, just to the left of the pinky finger, running along the outer part of the hand. But this time, unclear as to what Jeske hurt. 2-1 the score, bottom 5, a 3-2 count after that foul ball with 1 away. No reason to risk it in summer ball especially. Want to make sure that all of these guys stay as healthy as possible. Take a look at those West Coast League stand-ins. Walla Walla at the top. They've been outstanding in the South, as it looks like now Jeske is going to exit the ball game. So prayers up for him, hoping that everything's okay. Richfield in second, although they had that 10-game losing streak. They got back on track against the Elks, including a historic 31-0 win on Sunday evening. Corvallis in the thick of things in the 3 spot, tied with the Portland Pickles at 20-19. Yakima in 5th, and then those Elks tied for dead last in the West Coast League South, in a peculiar season in year 3 under Alan Cox. He's made the playoffs in his first 2 years as a head coach. That 3rd inning for Corvallis has been the difference. Each team leaving 5 on base. They're forced to go to the bench in the absence of Will Jeske on that swing where he got banged up.
Stepping to the plate.
And it's going to be Tate Hammond, the lefty.
Number 10, Tate Hammond.
When the Elks and the Knights first matched up in the middle of June, Tate Hammond was a starter at the corner infield spot almost every day. UCLA commit. Jackson delivers. A fastball that swung on and missed. Hammond with a ton of tools, though, from Long Beach, California. And after the first pitch is thrown, looks like Alan Cox is going to the bullpen. Appears that he's looking at the right elbow of Josh Jackson. You hope that this isn't injury related. And it appears that they're going to the side-winding reliever in Alex Figueroa out of the bullpen. Jackson will go and take a look with the trainer. Figueroa coming in. We're back at 90 on the Knights live stream. Welcome back to the Corvallis Knights live stream. New pitcher in the ballgame, Alex Figueroa, the sidewinder, as Garvey will foul it away through the glove of Smith and onto the turf. Figueroa out of Tucson, Arizona, was at Northwest Oklahoma State this last year and currently in the transfer portal. But for all of you watching him for the first time, about of as unique of a delivery as you'll see in the WCL, as the 0-1's lined right back where it came from for a base hit. Zane Garvey's second single of the night is a hard hit one. And the Knights have a couple of base runners here in the fifth. Zane Garvey, such a steady hitter out of Portland. And a balanced swing, keeping his head and everything completely through it. Knocking it right back up the middle. Gives Ryan Severns a chance to hit. Figueroa fires, a heater that's called a strike. Another big moment in this game, you saw the graphic flash across. 5 runners left on base for both teams. So one of them looking to push across and take advantage as the 0-1 fastball misses in. Severns, even as a freshman at UCSB, got a decent amount of run. And looking forward to that next campaign for the entire Gaucho squad to see them bounce back, a team with a lot of national pedigree. Fastball just a hair down. Figueroa, shades of Tyler Rogers or Ryan Thompson, even a Steve Cishek, those sidewinders that have made a living at the big league level, even with a fastball that's not in the 90s. Hitters count. Fouled off the foot of Severns. He'll take a walk to shake it off. Already it's felt like both sides getting banged up. Just in this inning, Jeske exiting with injuries. So does Josh Jackson, as the trainer was looking at the pitcher's elbow. Can't afford any more. 2-2 with 2 outs. It's Chun on second and Garvey on first. Figueroa's slider misses down and away. An action pitch coming up. Full count, 2 outs. Both runners will be on the move as soon as Figueroa commits home. As he works from the first base side. That's skied to straightaway center field, but Nato's got a beat on it. He'll reach up and make the catch. That will end the 5th. And Corvallis leaves a couple of runners on base. Still 2-1 Knights as we roll on to the 6th. We're back in 90 on the Knights live stream. and make the catch. 1 out. Putting away that leadoff runner. Knights have had a lot of success in that department. That's their 3rd straight inning doing so. And Marshall has not skipped a beat. 4 up, 4 down for the right-hander. Now Win Gurney will have a half-hearted attempt that's foul tipped into the catcher's mitt. Those games were ultra competitive between the Elks and the Knights a year ago. Playoff bout as Gurney swings through it. And in that series, the Elks ended up taking game 1 of it at Vince Guenna Stadium, their first playoff win since 2015. But once they came here to Goss, it all went wrong. 1-5 at Goss Stadium all of last year. Gurney strikes out on 3 pitches. And Nate Marshall is feeling it. 3 strikeouts. All by the swinging variety, and that filthy slider working right to left. These Elks having trouble picking it up. Quick 2 outs, and it's Hayden Smith, who takes a strike at the bottom of the zone despite it popping in and out of the glove of Rios. Smith doubled in the 2nd inning. Coming off a year at Glendale Community College, now committed to Utah. Bat goes flying, and watch out down there in that Corvallis dugout. It gets caught in the netting just above of the players in the all-white pinstripe uniforms. And Johnny Kemp, Elks third base coach, will tell Smith, go get some more pine tar. You don't want that happening again. I'm sure that also makes Marshall feel good, going along with how dominant he's been. Has not faltered one bit. In the process of ending his 2nd inning of work under 15 total pitches. And he does. Blows the doors off of Smith at the top of the zone. 2 consecutive strikeouts. Marshall rolling as we go to the bottom of the 6th, back in 90 on the Knights live stream.
Rolling with the crew, where good vibes meet good times. Retro keys, vintage vibes, unlock your next adventure. Poop's got the hookup too, belly rubs included.
This game's got some good pace to it. Bottom of the 6th inning, 2-1 Knights. Alex Figueroa back out there for his second inning of work, entering for the injured Josh Jackson. 7, 8, and 9 coming up in the order. And the attempted drag bunt is booted by Figueroa, picks it up off the turf, but his throw to first is not in time. Max Medina with the sneak attack, and it sneaks up on Figueroa so much that he can't squeeze it. They're going to give Medina a hit on that. It was a tough play for Figueroa, falling off the rubber and having to react quickly. Some speed on the bases now for Corvallis. Looks like maybe a pitch clock violation was called by base umpire Taylor Schneider. Brooke Knight looking for explanation just outside of the third base coaching box. Knight's now going to go talk to Bryce Reeves. Schneider signaled out his watch that it looked like a pitch clock violation on the batter, and Xavier Rios not engaging in time. And Knight is looking for an explanation. Both Reeves and Schneider have been on top of that so far tonight. And they'll depart with nothing else doing. Rios' 0 for 1 was hit by a pitch his last time through. The redshirt junior out of Cal State San Marcos. Squares to bunt and bunts it off himself in the box. Another look at Corvallis potentially manufacturing runs. Just under 2 hours of game time here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Credit to both pitching staffs working through these tough jams. Fig well ahead, and his slider misses down and away. Another year for Oregon State baseball making the NCAA Tournament Regional. And a park here with so much history and so many players that have donned both the Knights and Elk Uni. Figueroa on the fastball. No call at the bottom of the zone. Snap throw down to first. It's 2-2. Looks like the Elks dugout thought they had strike 3. But Figueroa will have to keep working for it. Now 3-2 on that fastball. Kellen Siegel waiting on deck, who's been a thorn in the Elks' side tonight. Then the top of the order after him. An opportunity for these Knights to add on to their lead that's already at 1. Figueroa's payoff. Running is Medina, and it misses low. Ball 4. And the Knights got something working here in the 6th. As Wes Harper senses the same exact thing, the Elks pitching coach. And we'll go out to chat with the side-arming righty. This could also be a situational discussion with Siegel coming up. A likely opportunity to potentially lay down a bunt. Set up the top of the order with 2 runners in scoring position. Brooke Knight not afraid to play small ball at all. One of the best coaches in West Coast League history, if not the. Championships here in Corvallis from 2016 to 2023, every single year. And even in the down years, like 2026 would be considered, Knight has been good enough to be in a firm playoff spot. Harper departs and Siegel digs in. He does square to bunt, pulls back and takes down. At times, whether it's mental or physical, when the batter squares to bunt, sometimes harder to throw strikes. Figueroa's 1-0. Squares again, and he fouls it. It looked like off the foot. Later call by Reeves and Schneider, and they finally do call it. Already getting late here in a game like a pitcher's duel that we've seen. If you're the Knights and can scratch across 2 more runs here in the 6th inning, give yourselves a great chance to win the opening game of this 3-game set. Figueroa, his 1-1. Squaring a bunt is Siegel, and it goes into the catcher's mitt and Smith. So that likely will take the bunt off and give Kellen Siegel a chance to hit. Redshirt junior committed to Cal Poly. Runners go. Fastball misses up. Throw down to third on 1 hop. The tag's not applied by Brady Pettit. And a critical double steal. Makes it so even though Kellen Siegel didn't lay down a bunt, just as good as a base hit will bring in 2 runs. That's savvy from head coach Brooke Knight, recognizing that the bunt would no longer be on and having the runners take it into their own hands. Figueroa's 2-2 got him swinging in a huge strikeout. He needed something unproductive, the Elk Sidewinder, and he got it.
From Oregon State University, the second baseman, number 11.
Bringing up Diego Cruz. That strong lineage from the Beavers to the Corvallis Knights, showcased again with this year's squad, and especially with all the new faces that have come in lately. Infield creeping in again. Cruz will sky one to straightaway left field. Gurney comes in a couple of steps, he'll make the catch. Tagging at third is Rios. There's gonna be a play there. Or that's Medina rather who scores. Rios tries to move up to third, and the throw there is in time. So that will end the inning on an unconventional double play. But Max Medina comes in to score on the sacrifice fly. Pleasure joining the Corvallis Knights live stream. Back to Mike Parker. When we come back in 90 on the Knights live stream. Top of the 7th inning. Still going is the right-hander in Marshall. Brady Pettit, Troy Sanders, and Will Cahill, hitters 7, 8, and 9 in the Elks order due up. This 3-1 Knights lead. Marshall delivers a fastball that's fired right back to the screen. Pleasure from Mike Parker having me on the Corvallis Knights live stream. Had a blast innings 5 and 6. No Elks runs when I was over there, but maybe the good luck can be brought back now that I'm in the booth. Pettit has reached twice on an error and a single. This Elks offense, just 1 run on 4 hits. Righty and Marshall looks in. Directly out of the stretch, the 0-2 is grounded softly to Severns at short. His throw to first is in time. That's been the story for the Elks. The last 4 innings, that leadoff batter retired. And Marshall has been on cruise control. Came in relief for the left-hander in Burtis. And since that moment, has not looked back. This is now Troy Sanders as the breaking ball's called a strike. Mike was highlighting how good Burtis has been this season. Same with Nathan Marshall, as Marshall gets Sanders to swing through it. These numbers have just been ridiculous from Nathan coming into this game. He has yet to allow a run this year, and now over 11 innings of work. The 0-2 to Sanders. Fastball misses up. He thought about offering at it, but wisely held up. Best chance for the Elks came back in that second inning when they had the bases loaded with nobody out. Sanders was the man up, and they couldn't scratch across any more than just one. The 1-2. Marshall gets him swinging. This is just sheer dominance from the Knights righty. That is his 6th strikeout out of the bullpen in just his 3rd inning of work. The Elks are fooled. Bringing up Will Cahill as Marshall fires in a strike at the top of the zone. Marshall, the righty out of Eastern Illinois from Albany, Oregon, and now back home for the summer. 0-1, foul tipped, popping in and out of the glove of Rios. But the efficiency is what has been ridiculous from Marshall. He is at just 25 pitches in his 3rd inning of work after striking out 5 batters. We're in the top of the 7th, 3-1 Knights, 0-2, 2 outs. And the fastball is fouled right back. While I was away on the Knights live stream, injuries galore. Josh Jackson concerned about that elbow. The cleanup hitter on Corvallis' side, Will Jeske, going out with what looked to be a hand injury on a hard swing. 0-2 once more. Cahill grounds one softly to the first baseman and Porter. He's got to hurry with the speed of Cahill, but he touches the base before Cahill can get there. Another 1-2-3 inning for Nate Marshall. He came in the 5th, facing the top of the order, and has since set down 9 straight batters. It's stretch time here in Corvallis. It's 3-1 Knights on the Bend Elks YouTube page. Porter will ground one to the second baseman, and Julian Unai, who will throw on to first. 1 out. Alex Figueroa back in for another inning of work. He's been utilized in more short-term, short spurt situations. But here, not at all. Dakota Chun digs in with 1 out. Figueroa fires a fastball that misses away. A quiet night on this muggy Tuesday evening. Just 4 combined runs for both offenses. 1-0 from Fig. Called a strike at the top of the zone. Chun had an RBI sac fly that came back in the third. 1-1. Heater misses down and in. Corvallis coming off a series loss against the Walla Walla Sweets, who has quickly established themselves as one of the best teams in the WCL South, if not the. And the Elks just looking to bounce back after a 31-0 loss. 2-1 is Sky to right field, but not deep. Klosik retreats to his right and squeezes it. Quick 2 outs from Alex Figueroa. Good awareness from the Elks to end the last inning on the sacrifice fly from Diego Cruz. The throw came in to the plate, but then Smith had the wherewithal to fire it down to third and get the back runner. Figueroa delivers a fastball that's called a strike. But this offense, and now we're approaching in the last 52 innings, have only scored a couple of times. Hammond fouls it away. No runs in the big loss Sunday, and just 1 run on Saturday night. Dave Hammond came in for the injured Will Jeske and will swing through a fastball at the top of the zone to end the inning. Alex Figueroa keeps rolling. We're done with 7. Elks are still just down by 2, knocking on the door, but needing a comeback when we come back on Bend Elks YouTube. We're in the top of the 8th inning. Elks trail it 3-1. And a new pitcher in the game, Matthew Kozderka. The righty will deliver to Nato, a heater that misses away. Kozderka, 11 2/3, a 1.54 ERA, 1.29 WHIP. Facing the Elks, top of the order, looking for some late life. The 1-0 to Nato. Gets the inside corner. It's 1-1. Nato, Unai, and Miller. 1, 2, and 3. Nato's been quiet tonight. He's 0 for 3 at the dish. The Cal State San Bernardino outfielder. Kozderka comes home. Fastball called to strike on the outer third. Kozderka from boring Oregon, but nothing about his play has been boring. A dominant reliever. And he gets Nato looking on the 1-2. That is the 10th time that the Elks have struck out tonight. Just the second time looking. Brings up Julian Unai. Such a luxury for Brooke Knight to be able to go to these two guys out of the pen. As Kozderka's heater misses down and in. Whether you look at bringing in Marshall or now Kozderka, both so good. Kozderka coming from Lower Columbia Community College, formerly the home of the Cowlitz Black Bears. 1-0 to Unai, big hack and a miss. Last time that Kozderka worked was against Walla Walla over the weekend. 1 inning, did not allow a run. And that's been how he's been utilized in short spurts. 1-1 Unai is a fastball that misses up. Julian hailing from Everett Community College has a hit along with a couple of strikeouts tonight, but he has been a revelation for this Elks offense. Big overshift for the lefty bat. Hitters count on the 2-1. Unai straight back to the net. He fouls it. Elks enter this contest with road woes, coming off a year where that was the story. 5-13 away from home. And their last trip, they just went 2-6. Wind in the 2-2. Unai skies one to shallow right field off the crack of the bat. Looked like it had more power, but it's squeezed by Zane Garvey, and there's 2 away. So there's been some shifting when it comes to the defensive positions. Since Hammond came in for Jeske, Tate Hammond's now playing third base and Zane Garvey's playing right field. It looks like the rest of the infield remain the same. 2 away, and it's Jace Miller, who taps one foul up the first baseline near pitching coach, and tonight first base coach Wes Harper. A gray cotton candy sky setting overhead on this humid Tuesday night. Elks need a spark. Kozderka's 0-1. Grounded softly to Tate Hammond at third, deep in the 5-hole. Throw to first will end the inning. And the Elks, once again, go down in order. The last base runner that the Elks had in this game was with 1 out in the 4th inning, a single from Brady Pettit. Since then, they have been completely stifled. We're going to the bottom of the 8th. Alex Figueroa back out there when we come back on Bend Elks YouTube. We're to the bottom of the 8th. Alex Figueroa working along, and he throws in a strike to open up the frame. Garvey, Severns, and Medina. 5, 6, and 7 in the Knights' order as they lead it 3-1. 0-1 fastball misses away. Let's take a look around the West Coast League on this Tuesday night while we set the stage for this bottom of the 8th. Kamloops and Edmonton tied at 5, top 9. Ridgefield beating Marion 6-3 in the top of the 8th. Yakima on the road in Walla Walla up 3-1, top 9. The 1-1 misses way outside, cannot be squeezed by Hayden Smith. Victoria beating Nanaimo 5-2 on the road. That's the British Columbia battle just after the All-Star game. Wenatchee beating Port Angeles 2-0 as the 2-1 misses away. Kelowna is at Bellingham and on top 7-3. That Kelowna team still feels like the best in the North with how dominant they've been. And then Springfield and Portland are all tied up at 2 in the top of the 5th. The 3-1 to Garvey is fouled away up the first baseline. Zane Garvey's had himself a night at the dish. 2 for 3, and in his second year with the Corvallis Knights, equally as good as he'll take up and away for ball 4. It's another walk for this Elk staff, and it starts off the 8th inning. That is the 8th free pass of the night. 3 hit by pitches and 5 walks. Digging in is Ryan Severns. Figueroa fires. Severns squares to bunt, and he fouls it right back to the bricks beyond home plate. Elks just 1-5 at Goss Stadium last year. Similar to Walker Stadium where the Portland Pickles play, it's been a spot that the Elks just cannot find consistency. And they're looking to change that tonight. The 0-1. Fastball tapped. Just foul to the left of Hayden Smith. Figueroa well ahead, 0-2. Man in Figueroa that proudly calls Tucson, Arizona home. Both of his parents working at the University of Arizona. I tell you, watching Figueroa play, despite some bumpy outings the last couple of times out, he's got the stuff to pitch at a spot like U of A. 0-2 slider, check swing, appeal to Taylor Schneider. He did not go. Ground ball would be critical for Fig. His 1-2. Got him swinging way outside. Ryan Severns chases. And that just shows how filthy the stuff is from Figueroa. He gets a guy like Severns to look completely fooled. One away for Max Medina. Medina came in to score on the sacrifice fly in the 6th inning, a critical insurance run now at this point. Figueroa's pitch to Medina is lined into left field for a base hit. Sanders had him shifted to the pull side, but a beautiful swing of the bat for the incoming freshman at Cal Poly, who has loads of tools. The 3rd time he's reached tonight. So much skill from a young hitter, taking a pitch where it's thrown and just going with it. Now Xavier Rios, who's reached twice on 2 free passes. Figueroa fires. It's a high chopper to the left side of the mound, falling off is Figueroa. He fields and makes a strong throw to first to get Xavier Rios. Both runners move up on the play in Zane Garvey and Max Medina, but a huge second out. Pitchers are athletes too, they say, and Figueroa there showing why. Falling off the mound, still getting enough oomph on the back end to deliver a P-Rod over to first. And now the hitter is Kellen Siegel as that fastball misses away. Siegel's been good for Corvallis. A single, a walk, and a strikeout tonight. But a dangerous hitter. Elks got to be careful of. 1-0, grounded on a couple of hops to Sanders at short. He fields, he throws to first, and they just get Kellen Siegel to end the 8th. Troy Sanders got it on a longer hop than he probably should have, but with a strong throw and the stretch by Jace Miller on the back end, they get Siegel to end the frame. We go to the 9th. The Elks need 2 runs to keep this game going on the Bend Elks YouTube page. Do not go anywhere. Richie Klosik will start off the 9th inning for the Elks and foul one away down the right field line under this dark gray sky. Second inning of work for Matthew Kozderka. Klosik, Gurney, and Smith. Hitters 4, 5, and 6 in this order. Elks need 2 runs to keep this game going. Kozderka, his wind and pitch. Is a fastball that's called a strike on the outside corner, 0-2. The Elks offensively. Struck out 10 times tonight. 0-2. Foul tipped and foul just to the base of Rios, the catcher, who couldn't squeeze it. But at this stage of the game, you just want to get a base runner on. A bloop and a blast ties it all. Corvallis fans waiting along patiently. The pitch. Klosik chases down and away for strike 3. The second time that Klosik has struck out. And the Elks against these 2 relievers, Nate Marshall and Matthew Kozderka, have had no answers so far tonight. Bringing up Win Gurney from the right side. Kozderka delivers a heater that's called a strike. And Corvallis just continues to fill up the zone at a high rate. And they're getting rewarded because of such. Elks in danger of falling to 10 games below 500. Needing some late heroics. The 0-1 breaking ball, tapped foul beyond home plate, 0-2. Gurney out of high school is committed to Oregon State from Manhattan Beach. Flipped around and now resides at LMU, right near his hometown. 0-2, another strikeout. And Gurney on a half-hearted check swing went around He'll jog down to first. The catcher in Rios will clean it up, throw to Porter on the drop, third strike. Back-to-back Ks in this ninth, and the Elks are down to their final out. Hayden Smith, the Elks' last chance, calls Derka. Throwing a fastball for a strike. Getting the ball back from Rios, immediately towing the rubber again. Into his windup, working horizontally. And out comes in on a fastball that misses away. Back to that second inning. You can't help but think about it for these Elks. Hayden Smith had the big hit to get it going with a double. And since the Elks have been silent. 1-1. Fastball, Sky down the left field line, hooking foul. But Smith got it out in front. Just not enough. This will get the Corvallis crowd into it. 1-2 with 2 outs. Top 9, nobody on base. Elks down to their final strike. Kozderka looks in and delivers. A breaking ball that swung on and missed for a strike 3 by Hayden Smith. And the Corvallis Knights have taken game 1 of this 3-game series by a score of 3-1. Matthew Kozderka to end the game strikes out the side, and the Elks as an offense tonight struck out 13 times. Tough night for the Bend Elks. They've now played 27 innings of baseball over the last 3 days and have scored a combined 2 runs. This offense has been awfully quiet, and there's not one thing to point to. It's just been the reality. Can't help but look back at that second inning, and I'll say it once again, the Elks had the bases loaded with nobody out and only were able to push 1 run across. If they capitalized there and made it a crooked number, the game tonight is completely different, but some nightmares re-exercised at Goss Stadium from 1 year ago when the Elks 2025 season ended here in this same ballpark. And once again tonight, the Elks are just not able to get it done. They fall to 15-25 on the season. Hovering right around last place in the West Coast League South. They're losers of 3 straight. And the Corvallis Knights, after losing the series finale to Walla Walla, losing the series, get a win and improve to 21-19 on the year. Patrick Galvin spun it well as the starting pitcher. The pitching as a whole gave the Elks a chance tonight. Patrick Galvin, Josh Jackson, who exited with an elbow injury. We hope he's okay. And Alex Figueroa were all good tonight. But the bats just could not get going. And we're here telling the same story once again as the Elks fall. One that's going to be a tough pill to swallow, and you're running out of time if you're the Elks on this 2026 season. But 1 game at a time is the only way to approach it. And tonight just wasn't the Elks' night. Your final lines: 3 for the Knights, 1 for the Elks, 5 for Corvallis in the hit column. Just 4 hits on Bend's side. And Corvallis committed 2 errors, both that came in that second inning to give the Elks a free rally on a platter. They just couldn't take advantage. No errors on the Elks side, but the free passes cost them. Ultimately, 8 free passes, 3 hit by pitches, and 5 walks. Gave Corvallis some life. They took advantage. And they stay in the thick of that playoff hunt, hoping to win the second half with a run. We will see you tomorrow night, same time, same place. But But until then, I'm Aiden O'Neill signing off.